discussion. I was just saying, the stream starting up.
Never.
Also, I need to adjust volume on things, as I discovered last night. Well, by last night I mean this morning, but...
I have a question, by the way. Is there any way you can make it so that the stream, what is it called? Stream raiders?
Yeah?
Doesn't cover your microphone.
Not really.
Oh. It's just because sometimes it's very distracting just to hear over and over again come out of your microphone.
I mean, it doesn't last that long.
As a DM in my game, I like it when he does that because it gives me a good minute or so that I can just mute my microphone and or just stay quiet and like clean things up or plan the next encounter.
Like I'm not getting at you. I'm just saying it's been a little bit distracting sometimes in the middle of Eberron when it just happens randomly.
I do get that. Well, I mean, it's not exactly random. It's every half hour, but... I do get the problems. It's just, I also have a lot of people who actually enjoy it. Like, literally, Gold King yelled at me when I didn't let him know that it was going on. Because he wanted to know that it was going on.
I was like, I better log on to the stream because I bet my sub anniversary is coming up.
Hey, Loco, how's it going?
There you go, Zim. You get a heart.
Our illustrious champion returns. Welcome home.
Alright.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Sorry, it started playing and I was like, oh crap, I forgot to switch the speakers over. Also, I gotta turn all of you down.
I can't believe I've been subbed for 18 months. Like,
Alright. Sorry about that.
Did you see my DMs, Nova?
I did, yeah.
Okay. I just thought I'd give you the TLDR. Just to help you.
Gotcha.
If you wanna know more, just IM me.
Alright, will do.
Oh, nice, Loco. Yeah, yesterday's Guild Wars 2 stream was mostly just a relaxation kind of thing. Jeez, Earth.
Yeah, I can't believe it's been 18 months, Sim. Jesus.
Yeah, that was yeah.
Because I think I subscribed the moment that Rycon brought me in. Didn't I?
I think you did somewhere around there, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's Jaffer for 6 months. Thank you. I really need to adjust those sounds, though. I set them up originally when it was only, like, people only subscribing for 2 to 3 months in a row, and so I wanted to have the variety of the sound clips. Because I've got, like, 5 of them for different periods of time. And now I think I need to expand that because, I mean, I've got somebody that's been subscribed for 3 years.
Is it Ray?
No, Prism. He never comes around
yeah.
and talks much, but every month he is reliable and always pops in to give that subscription.
Did I ever tell you that I have Wayne June is an announcer on Dota? The Darkest Dungeon announcer.
I think you talked about that, yeah.
It's so great because he talks about like moments of desperation whenever your enemy like protects their towers and stuff.
Loco, no, there is not a free flying mechanic in Guild Wars 2. But that's also a huge part of what I love about Guild Wars 2. It's like, none of the mounts are, you're not just running that animal to the ground, flying from one quarter of the continent to the other. Because that would destroy any animal. And I really rather enjoy the fact that they have it set up that way.
Dragons may not have fatigue problems flying that far.
I think they would. It's not quite gliding, Loco. The sky scale is... it's not quite gliding. We do have gliders, but the sky scale can actually fly higher. It's just to get higher, it does take effort. And I'm fairly certain that over time I'll unlock new abilities to give them more stamina and stuff for getting higher. But it's one of those things where I just love the way that Guild Wars 2 handled mounts, period. They feel so organic, so lifelike. Like, you can't just... Like, a raptor doesn't just instantly turn like they do in, like, World of Warcraft and such. A raptor would... If you're running at full speed with a raptor, it would be more of an arcing turn. And so it's one of the many things that I appreciate about that attention to detail and realism. I mean, I know we're talking about dragons and raptors and stuff and riding around on them, but it feels realistic for what the creature is. The Springer mount, the one that you use to get really high up in the sky, that jumps really high, that one... it's impossible to make fine-tune adjustments on that mount. Because, it's a kangaroo rabbit thing. They hop. They don't walk. And so they've got to be able to hop a little bit to actually move. And while it's a little frustrating to not be able to make fine-tuned adjustments when you are on a narrow ledge that is barely big enough for you in the mount, it's a little disconcerting sometimes, but it just feels organic.
Oh, by the way, Sim, to bring up another topic, I started playing Satisfactory with a person who immediately got my sense of aesthetic when it came to conveyor belts.
Oh, did they put them everywhere?
They tried to put them straight and at 90-degree angles if they had to curve.
Box.
And
my convention.
Anytime there was a conveyor belt that had to flow through another conveyor belt, we just used like either the stacking conveyor pole or the vertical lifter to move it over the top of the other conveyor belt, because we're like, no, we don't want them going through each other. So I'm not the only one. There.
No, you're definitely the only one.
But on other news, Satisfactory's on Steam now, so you can play with all your Steam friends.
Ah.
Yeah, I've heard about that. Apparently, you still need to give Epic all your information in order to play it.
No. Absolutely not. All you need to do is paste the game ID to people.
All right, everyone. Hello and welcome to the stream. I am Raw Zim, and this is Sounds of Metal Lancer. I will turn it over now to somebody that talks next.
Oh.
Well, I guess it's Dusty.
I'll just go. So,
No, Dusty talked.
last time
It's the DM.
you all finished your transaction, having sold a what basically had become a collector's item at that point. A vial of rare minerals that had been very recently made redundant. Thankfully, for you at least, your trade partners didn't quite hear the news yet, and so you rushed out into space, trying to reach them before they entered a communications zone and were able to actually get the news of the new price on the item. You made the transfer, and on your way back, Ringo, the ship's AI, regretfully informed you that in order to actually make your money worth something, you had to transfer them all into various trade accounts
stocks.
and stocks and bonds and low payout stuff. So thankfully, all of your ship's substantial debts are paid off, and there's also some deals for repair and refueling at some of the trade hubs.
Also-
and you did actually get a little bit of spending cash.
We're also insured.
Mm-hmm. The ship is at least a little bit insured.
And the pilot.
And the pilots.
You said that we had enough for cloning, at least, once.
You said we had insurance. You said we had top of the line insurance.
Yeah.
All right.
I said at least once, because I wasn't sure how far Dovo was taking it.
But you, after going on for a few more days, you docked up at a large, fairly well-known.
Pleasure station, if I remember correctly.
Sorry, I'm just yawning. A leisure station by the name of Baron Elhar von Bartholomew Memorial Station, where you intend to meet the issuer for your contract, currently kind of stinking up your cargo hold at the moment. In addition to just finding a place to rest and relax. The station itself has basically whatever sort of recreational facilities you might ever want, with multiple biodomes featuring different climates, different sorts of sort of leisure activities, in addition to a large amount of restaurants, spas, and massage parlors. You have been greeted by a very prim and proper butler, who has offered to be a sort of guide, at least as just so far as to find your actual contract issuer, as it is a fairly labyrinthine series of large kind of arched hallways, very sort of Art Deco sort of style. If any of you have played the new Prey games.
Oh, okay.
Not a mimic, not a mimic, not a mimic.
There's just coffee cups everywhere.
See, what I
See if I
wanted to
can-
see, I haven't played, but I wanted to see one of the mimics become one of those not a mimic stickers.
What?
I I've never actually played the game, so I don't know if this happens, but I think it would be cool if one of the mimics decided they wanted to be not a mimic sticker.
Oh. I don't think so.
Ultimate deception.
Yeah, so the eye that's on obviously isn't a mimic, but the sticker itself is.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and head off to the nature area to see what might be visible for the see
out of
what
here.
animals might be present there. Why
Animals
would
don't
I
exist
go?
in this setting.
No animals? Then where does the
Out of here,
burger
Professor,
come
for
from?
real. They're all
Why would
they're
you-
all
why-
animatronics. Get out of here.
Why would you want animals? You're a mechanic. Surely machines
Yeah.
are preferable.
Like for real, animals are just messy.
Yeah.
Electric-
Animals are like low-grade machines. Anything you build is obviously high-grade, so why would you want animals?
Yeah. For real.
So he wants to find electric sheep.
Beep, beep, I'm a sheep, said beep, beep, I'm a sheep.
All right, let's not think about that video. Anyways, what are you guys all doing?
Doom and Vega need to talk to the captain, El Capitan.
La Capitan.
La Capitan. Depending on the time of the day, I'm either on the bridge or in my quarters.
Patting your crab, or squid, or whatever it is.
My space crustacean.
Yes.
McHammer is gonna try his drone thing again.
Okay. Again, very, very ominous sort of sounds coming from the ship deck whenever you try to look inside the gravity generator room.
He will get in there.
You know the eye idols in Darkest Dungeon, which like spawn the Eldritch Horror
Yeah.
and the Rift? That's literally the gravity room, right? He's just,
Oh,
gonna,
no.
he's just gonna trigger that one day, and we're just gonna be orbiting a black hole with an Eldritch abomination coming out of it.
For real.
Does it give you the deck plans for the ship?
I do have the deck
does.
plans.
And then Doom punches it out of orbit.
Or at least I'd have to find them anyways.
I sent them to you on Discord.
I know. I'd still have to find them.
But yeah, so Vega, Doom's AI, informs Firefly that they wish to negotiate on Doom's behalf.
This is acceptable. Please go ahead.
So the original contract is practically over. So unless you have some sort of additional work, Doom was thinking of heading onto greener pastures, as it were.
Well, and she'll look towards Doom. You have been a very valuable asset during these times. Your value has been increased over steady periods of time. I would say it's one of the higher values on this ship. That saying, I do have two options for you if you would like to hear them.
Go ahead, says Vega.
So option one is for you to go on your greener pastures, which I am okay, and we remain in contact in case one or the other need each other. Number two is you can stay aboard and become a head of security for the ship. Seeing as our recent endeavors, I do not want to get boarded when no one is here. Both are your options. Either one is acceptable at this time.
I'd be happy to stay on board and work on the engine and stuff. Keep an eye on things. You go ashore and enjoy.
You are not leaving my sight, or you are getting off my ship. Those are your two options.
Doom looks between McHammer and Firefly, and Vega asks,
I
what sort
didn't think
of...
that Makehammer was actually there.
Vega asks, what sort of contract term would you be looking for security?
Personally, I wouldn't mind having you full-time until the day I die. As you are very combative and know your ways around, as you would say, meat slaughtering.
Specifically meat slaughtering. I like that.
Yeah, meat slaughtering. Is it more like meat tenderizing, considering he bashes people a lot and pushes them?
She is not good with words. We all know this.
Oh, so you're saying effectively being a bully?
We accept the terms until at such time as the ship security is no longer needed.
Acceptable. And if any time beforehand that you would like to, wow, what does Scrapper say? Bail on it, that also is acceptable. Just do inform me before that happens. And she'll hold out her hand.
Doom gives a nod and fist bumps. Doesn't really shake, he just fist bumps.
She will try. It'll take a couple seconds, and she'll fist bump back.
She has to understand what's happening.
All right, that's it, Dova. That's the official handing off of the character.
All right.
Personal bodyguard and bodyguard of the ship. Dude.
He now lives in the quarters that are the closest to the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Not the captain's quarters, though.
It's like whenever somebody fucks up, all they hear is E1M1. And he just looms over them like, do we have to go to the brig? Because we don't have a brig.
Need to make one. All right, so Scrapper, McHammer, or well, McHammer, you're doing drone stuff. You're trying to get into the gravity room. Watchtower and Scrapper, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's definitely a good thing that. Sorry to interrupt. It's just definitely a good thing that Makehammer was not made captain.
I'm contemplating either being a pest or being helpful.
Oh, that's an easy choice. Being a pest, it's in his nature.
Oh, always go for pest.
So,
I'm going to figure out how to rig the predictive and prophetic systems of my of my mech, my swallowtail, so I can rig the roulette table and just know what it's going to roll ahead of time.
well, your combat mech specifically would not be allowed to leave the ship, basically.
But the thing is, like, figure out how to try and use my combination of that and my horror systems to just figure out how to go, yeah, you know, the next spin is going to be a 15 red. So I'm just going to put a 15 red down at a time.
Go ahead and give me a skill check. I want to say, since this is a very well-off station, so basically a giant casino in New Vegas, or New Vegas, Las Vegas. That's my default when I talk about Vegas is New Vegas.
I think you two are an appreciator of Obsidian software.
I'm gonna say this is definitely going to be a risky skill check, so the DC is going to be 20.
All right, and what do I roll? Just
Skill check.
figure out which skill.
Whichever skill is applicable. Like, which skill do you want to use for it?
Probably hacking would be the hack something would be the best one for it. So,
Give me. I'd say you could add. Since you're using your systems, go ahead and just give me. Oh, actually, with only 2 accuracy, you still wouldn't be able to make. I suppose you would. D20 roll with 2 accuracy, since you're using your mechs systems to do so.
Do I get to add my systems to it?
With the distance involved, no. Ooh.
Low on the d20, but both sixes rolled 6.
All right.
So, 15.
So even if you would have had a +6 from a skill trigger, that would not have beat the DC.
By the way,
and
there's my roll for 16 plus 6.
What are you adding to it?
Invent or create, or whatever it was. I got, basically, if I want to make something, I've got a +6 in both Hacker Fix and Inventor or Create, so...
Fair enough. Watchtower.
Yeah.
So, you head out to the casino, a sizable chunk of like credit cards in your hand, basically chips, or poker chips. And you seem to be doing kind of okay for a little while, until about 2 hours in, you've made a decent little profit, but a very bulky and beefy hand just sort of rests on your shoulder. As you look back, you see the very plain, formal attire of what you immediately assume to be a casino security guard. And then standing behind them are 2 more fairly bulky men. They're kind of just standing with their hands folded, just in front of them. Do you mind stepping away from the table for a sec? We just want to have a little chat.
Yeah, let's let this spin finish, and then I'll grab my stuff and we can talk.
No. This is real important.
Well, what about my wings on the table?
Oh, we can hash that out later, as with the amount of steady sort of insistent force, you realize they're not asking.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna start collecting the chips I have, at least. You know?
They just like
Oh,
they just
they're
take
not
the
gonna-
chips and just they don't let you take the chips. They put them back on the table. As they are very much leading you out. They've caught you by some means that you're not quite aware of.
If I can use a mech system to try and predict it and cheat, they can use the exact same system to counter cheat. So.
And they've got the whole casino worth of cameras.
Oh yeah.
So
I did say, do I want to be helpful or cause trouble? I wasn't expecting this to do anything other than cause trouble.
As you're being led out, you realize, no, wait a minute, you should have turned left if you wanted to go out the front door. They're taking you towards the back rooms, and you can see in front of you is an unmarked door that looks very heavy and very sturdy. You have
What did you do?
maybe about 10 seconds before they go through you, or they go with you through that door.
Yeah, I'm not gonna fight them at this point.
All right.
Oh no.
I'm just gonna go ahead. I'm just gonna skip ahead to the point where after about 4 guys rough you up.
Oh no, there's definitely lay a finger on me. Daybreak is being drawn and being shot. So.
Wait, what'd you say?
Daybreak, the
You're-
gun I showed you.
Your sound is not coming through for me.
It's hard to hear you.
Testing, 1, 2, 3, testing.
Still
The
roboty. Might be me.
problem. Yeah, I think it's you, Dova, because he sounds fine. He just sounds really far away from the mic.
It might be the Discord server. Like, Dova might have an issue connecting to the region
Might
that is
be.
in.
I'll go ahead and swap
Do you
it.
want Yeah.
Done. Oh,
Testing.
and then we
1, 2, 3.
lost Dova. Jaffer, you always sound very echoey with this game, probably because you're not right next to the.
All right.
Yeah, so I have to use a separate microphone for this
So
one.
I am
It's-
back.
I'm
welcome
either
back.
echoey or breathing.
How does Jaffer sound?
Sounds alright. I think it was on my end. Jeffer,
Uh,
what was that
well,
last
we-
part that you said?
So the second it turns violent, I'm going to draw a Daybreaker and shoot them.
Oh no.
All right.
Yeah, I've cooperated with them fully at this point. The second they want to get violent, I will not hold back.
So there's 4 of them in there. One of them does
Yeah.
seem to be armed with what looks to be a sidearm.
Cool, he's
But
the person
would
who
not-
gets shot first.
All right, just the guy standing by the side, the security guard.
Oh, the second they lay an aggressive hand on me. So the second they punch me, that's when I'm going to fight back. I'm not going to be the first to shoot or the
Alright.
first to make an aggressive action.
But the security guard isn't the guy who shot. Or isn't the guy who punched you. I'm just making
okay.
sure. Okay.
Now, if the security guard hasn't been involved, if it's just them, then yeah, I'll take a shot at the person who punches me.
All right. What's your sidearm?
It's the light one. It's a light signature, but I showed you the picture, I think.
Yeah.
The one that looks very old-fashioned-y, but just shoots big bullets.
Mm.
It is a big ball weapon.
As the room fills with the little bits of smoke from basically an explosion from your pistol.
Yep. But you did say it was advanced, so I don't need to bother with reloading or anything.
It's got like
Because
a
it's a light.
small, at least a small internal magazine or some
It's
sort
also
of.
sidearm, so I can draw it for free.
I'd say if you want to go all out, you're gonna get 2 of them. You're gonna get 2 shots off before one of them starts to retaliate.
Okay, well no, I'm just gonna shoot the guy who punched me.
All right.
He punches me. Cool. I'm gonna draw the gun, shoot him in the chest. Like, you want this to turn violent?
All right. One of the 2. After you got the 2 shots off, you whip around to at least threaten him, and you see that he has already drawn of what clearly is some sort of non-lethal or maybe a taser. Give me a skill check. This is just to determine whether or not you can resist the effects of the taser.
16.
16? All right. As one of the probes, one of the electrodes actually doesn't connect. So you feel a little bit of a shock.
You
But
see
at
the
that
armor I'm
point, it
wearing?
would. What?
You see the armor I'm wearing?
Oh,
Yeah,
you went and
it's-
you
I'm
seen
wearing
him
the-
with your armor on?
Oh, I'm wearing the full Playtop to get up.
Oh, probably. It's probably. I guess you could probably pass it off as, "I'm a lancer. This is just what I wear."
Not necessarily. You could keep the mask certainly, but as far as any sort of
Yes,
combat
keep the
gear,
mask.
this
I'm
is a
not saying
casino.
combat armor. Let me share the picture. of my
But
chest.
you would have the opportunity to just keep going if you want.
I'll probably just pull the one cord that he did connect out, and it's like, seriously, you want this to turn this way?
I mean, from their experience, they were making an arrest, and you just opened fire.
No, one of them. No, if they were arresting me, no. But he physically assaulted me. He punched me. That's when I opened fire. You said they were going to rough me up. That means they're not arresting me. They're just beating me.
It's a casino, and he cheated in it. But let's see.
Yeah, I'm going to level the firearm at him and say, "You really want this to turn violent?"
Also note that he did he kind of did a power move, like he got tasered and then pulled it out and said, "All right, enough."
I'll even point out, he's not dead yet. I can save him. Talk to the guy I shot in the chest.
Sorry, I'm thinking.
Hey, I asked the party and you said cause trouble. I'm causing trouble.
I don't think I was a part of this decision making. So,
Okay, the options were cause trouble or be helpful. Everyone said cause trouble. I shared in Discord the picture of my character's full getup if you wanted to show that, Zim.
Wait, what? Who? What? Where? Why?
I put in
How?
Discord the picture
Huh?
of my full
Who?
character.
What? What? Who? Huh?
Look
I
in the
approve.
Lancer chat, Sim.
What? Who? Huh? Oh, okay.
Alright,
damn.
just being an idiot for the sake of being an idiot.
Do you actually own the rights to that art?
No.
Then I wouldn't be able to share it.
I mean, I don't own the
Okay.
rights to any of the art I put up on Tabletop.
It's a bit different for it being in the game like this, where it's zoomed out and stuff. But it's a different thing if I just plaster that all over the screen.
Hmm.
I will admit, I try and use assets that are free to use.
Yeah, that's the
I
mean-
preferable route. But you can go post that in the media sharing channel and just let everybody know what it's for.
I mean, like, we could always commission Mary if Sim wants to put
She's
that forward.
been extremely slow to get me stuff.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Like, I've been waiting... I've been waiting a very long time for work to come through from her. The pandemic's kind of slowed her down a lot on things.
Slowed everyone down. People's families are concerned.
Yeah, so I don't want to push her on things. That's why I'm kind of looking at other routes, like I said earlier, for the group art for this.
Okay, that's fair enough.
But anyways, if you guys want to see, you can do !Discord in the chat and come join our Discord, and it's in the media sharing channel.
Good plugin, Sam. Good plugin.
So, you managed to, I'd say, intimidate the casino security guard. But you can't help but notice that the two which you slain do have what look to be pagers, straight out of Payday. Not working the same way, but you can clearly tell that they've been monitoring their life signs, and they are blinking red. They are beeping quite loudly, and you can only guess that it's alerted some sort of much larger security system. The two cameras in the room either kind of omnipresently looking somewhere. They've got the black domes on them.
Oh yeah, no, I never expected to get away with. So once the guard actually calms down,
Actual murder.
I'm going to see if I can triage the 2 I shot.
Okay, you shot them, and you're helping them.
Okay, they attacked me. I defended myself. They're no longer a threat. I can now render assistance.
You should
Give
buy
me,
handcuffs someday.
Give me 2 skill checks. I'd say one of them was a much harder hit than the other, so the second one is going to have a DC of 15. First one is regular.
Alright, and can I give advantage on them because I'm a medic and I'm assuming using patch, as well as I have both corrective and patch on me. So I have the med kit and stuff with me.
Would you actually be carrying them with you at all times?
Yeah, I'm a medic. I carry them with me because if people need help, they need help.
Fair enough. I'd say then I only need 1.
Four, 6, 7, 13.
13, all right. So the first one, is it seems to be a meat shot, but with the just this sort of large caliber. It kind of knocked him onto his side and just sort of dazed him. The medicine from the patch kind of making him a little bit woozy and knocking him out. The second one took a much harder hit to the gut. And thankfully, though, using your medical equipment, you managed to save his life. But again, he's out like a light. And it's at about that moment that the proper security force arrives, as you hear the stomping of boots of around about 8-ish people arrive at the door outside, which then promptly swings open, slamming into the wall nearby. As you see a full squad of station security sort of barge in, weapons drawn.
Yeah,
immediately, you are...
My gun would have been put away because I'm over these people saving their life.
Regardless, they basically go at this SWAT style, and if you don't immediately listen to their demands to put your hands up and drop to the ground, they will forcibly do so.
Okay. No, these are the actual police. These aren't people who are trying to rough me up. So yes, I'll be cooperating.
All right.
I'm gonna be right back for a second. Sorry.
Okay. Scrapper, what are you doing?
Constantly standing.
She was hanging out on the ship because she's devoting more time to researching this coffee machine.
Okay.
She has a rivalry built up with it, and if she's got just time, I challenge you again.
I just imagine her literally saying that to it, and the coffee just percolates.
Give me a skill check, and this is a heroic skill check, so the DC is 25.
All right, invent or create. All right, so that's a +6. Where's a D20 I can grab? I'll take this one.
You gotta roll it.
Yep. I'm just moving it to the middle of the table first. Why? 5, 11.
Again, all the same conclusions that you drew upon to make your previous coffee machine, which wasn't quite as good, still kind of come up again, and there's something behind it you just cannot wrap your head around.
I'm
something
going
that kind of
fill this room with other coffee machines that I have made myself until I understand you.
Is there gonna be like just a coffee room?
And she has made other coffee machines because she thought, oh, it's not that great. Oh my god, it's great. Oh.
So this is room where you're having that one person make the same thing over and over looking for the legendary one.
Pretty much. So at
It's Sullen this time.
Firefly. So
Being nice
Firefly.
because she wasn't destructive.
Both Firefly and McHammer are coincidentally working at the same things at the same time. So Firefly, I understand
what?
that you want to. Firefly, you want to. So you do want to get into it, right?
I want to know for the fact of knowing to prevent McHammer from knowing.
Oh no. Alright, so we
Are
got
you? So
three
if you
people on the
choose
ship.
Because he taught her humor, and this is funny.
All right. If you guys want to decide amongst yourselves who gets in first, otherwise I'll have you roll.
I'm back.
Hi.
Hi.
I would
I'd
say,
say we need to roll.
yeah, because it's like a race against time.
Mm.
And I
Racing
already
against
rolled
each
my
other.
inventor fix for, how I'm getting
What was
in
it?
there. It was the 16
basically
plus
cutting in.
6.
All right.
No, the drone going in from the top.
Gotcha.
Alright, so I will have to roll one of my skills.
Mhm.
What is the skill of? I think investigate is a good skill right there.
I'd say this definitely is a physical sort of get in skill.
Hmm. Let's see, get a hold. I have investigate and get a hold of. I can't charm the door, can I?
I
Maybe.
believe so.
Depends on what's
you might-
behind it.
You might be able to charm one of the. You might be able to charm Ringo into getting one of the subalterns to do it.
To open the door for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can do that.
All right.
Just roll charm. Let's be charming.
Yeah, they are deckhands, so they do
Or at
have
least
like plasma cutters on them.
persuasive.
Right.
You can.
That is a 7.
He's sticking to his guns and not having anything get in.
Her flirting is very monotone and binary.
It's just. It's the worst flirting ever. It's just a compliment and then a lot of insults.
Is that a new 0 I see? It looks ravaging on that screen. Though the screen is quite dusty, you may need to clean that.
He's
McHammer.
just confused by the end of it.
Your drone kind of trundling along the vent shaft just above the room. It's getting a little bit of interference as it gets close to the actual cutting point, but it seems to be making the cut itself fairly well. I'd say Firefly would be able to hear the steady sound of cutting implements in the ducts somewhere between the decks, but you're not quite sure how to get to them. But on the video feed, as the little cutting arm finishes, the little metal plate falls in, and the drone kind of trundles forward a little bit just to get a peek in. And you get a very brief glimpse of something segmented. You're not sure whether of color due to the static at the time, but at that instant, contact with your drone drops off. As you hear the sort of combination, sort of in the vents, you hear like a combination of like crunching metal as well as like what it sounds like to slurp noodles up.
Disturbing.
Very disturbing.
And it's at about that time that you feel a gentle sort of shudder in the ship around you as you're technically inside the leisure station's gravity field, but something broke. You're not entirely sure whether the ship's gravity will start up next time you turn it on.
I'm gonna march. Do I hear this breaking noise?
Yeah, you would hear that sound.
McHammer will have pressed the self-destruct buttons on
Oh, it's too
everything.
On the
We
controller?
all know it's you.
Yeah,
He knows it,
like
yeah.
I said last time he tried this, he puts a self-destruct button on everything to, it's just enough to completely destroy the evidence.
All right. I'm guessing you were like in your quarters at the time.
No, he's in the
you
engine
pressed-
room.
Oh, you press the self-destruct button and toss it into basically a trash chute. A few moments after, you hear it close and the remote kind of slide down the chute into the compactor space. You hear a very muffled kind of thump. And then after that, you hear a few more thumps.
He's diving underneath the engine, getting kind of somewhat hiding while also trying to appear like he's actually working on something.
All right.
He's gonna go find him.
Those last few thumps are in fact Firefly stomping down the corridor.
You see, McHammer, this is what you should do before you send the drone in. Take off several panels and start unplugging things. So when they come in, when he bursts in, you can plug it back in and just fix something. So
that's a great idea, but he didn't think of that. So
you know the future.
She's gonna echo down the hallway. Oh, McHammer, I have some words for you. I can hear your value going down. Please come chat with me.
He's
You're
gonna turn on some
excellent
music.
Firefly literally has a stock market on a PDA which has crew members' values.
It's a spreadsheet, and it's just
His graphic chart is just plummeting.
The worst part is it's on Microsoft Excel 2003.
Oh no!
She's gonna go try to find him.
all right.
I mean, he's
Calling
got
her
music
Mystic
playing now, but
I'd say it wouldn't be too hard to find him. He's a very big guy.
very
But he
big guy
definitely-
under an engine, though.
It looks like he was either working on something or is acting like he's working on something. You can't quite tell.
He's pulling off a panel right now. He kind of calls out from under. Hey, whoever's out there, could you pass me that hyperspan wrench?
I want to use my creepy bony fingers with the long black fingernails and just creep under there.
They like scratch against the plating.
Mm-hmm.
The ring finger is exactly 5 inches too short.
That doesn't sound right. It's the one that it's got the long handle on it, and that doesn't sound like the right tool.
She's gonna grab his leg.
No, that's not the wrench either.
Big Hammer, I would like to have a few words with you.
Oh, sure. I'm in the middle of something here. What's up?
I'm sure it can wait. Please come out and face your captain.
Well, I guess if you don't care about the engine exploding, all right. He'll go ahead and start shimmying out.
I've done enough.
And
Take a tribute to that.
just the look on her non-emotional face.
Have I made her experience emotion?
It's not a great emotion. She has her arms crossed and is just tapping her bony finger on her arm like, big hammer.
Yeah, what can I do for you?
There seems to be a noise going around there.
Well,
And
yeah, it's called music.
No, I know what that is. Though your taste is not to my liking.
Ooh.
It helps me concentrate.
It has come to my attention that there was some sort of malfunction, and the code read McHammer to it.
A malfunction? Well, I can definitely take a look. Where's it at?
She's gonna lean in real close and go,
Tail, and I'm
look,
thinking,
Dusty, we're getting a lot of background noise from you.
Here we go.
she's gonna lean in real close, like centimeters from his face. You can look in the mirror for that malfunction.
Oh, is it something I'm wearing?
No, the mirror's broken.
You are catty. I will give you that. However, you have disobeyed my orders again.
Was there an order not to work on the engine?
There was an order not to go into that room. I know it was you.
I've been in here the entire time.
Sure. But let me make something quite clear to you. If there is another error code McHammer, there will be a cleansing of the system. Do I make myself clear?
I'll be 100% honest here. No.
Fire.
I still have no idea what you're talking about.
She's gonna lean back and say, the way to clean an error is to send a bug on it, and you would not like, as her head tilts sideways, you would not like bug to interfere with that error.
He's scratching his head.
By squishing bugs.
He's scratching his head with a greasy hand, like clearly absolutely confused.
You can hear something shifting around in the cargo bay on the far side. Something mech-sized about.
I still have no idea what you're talking about.
Yes.
Return.
Ignorance
boy.
lets those help.
I'm sorry.
Our modest fellowship expands.
Hey, I am okay with this. Thank you, Safanara.
Awesome, thank you.
Our modest fellowship expands.
And
Praise the
she's
sun.
gonna lean up and just go, that endearing attitude of yours.
Returned.
Just make sure it doesn't cloud any future errors. And
New
when you get a
subscriber
chance,
arrives.
make sure no more
Fills you with
optimal
determination.
times that you make goes into the gravity chamber.
I don't really, well, okay. I won't
Hammer,
let an
she's gonna
automaton
shoot
go
you.
into the, gravity chamber.
You will not go into the gravity chamber. You will not
I'm
have
aware of
anything
that.
you produce go into the gravity chamber.
Understood.
You will not have anything that you commandeer, buy, trade,
Damn
or
it.
bribe to go into that gravity chamber.
Stop taking
You would
away
not-
all of my loopholes.
You will not have anything contracted to go into that thing. You will have no programs, mechs, sub-mechs, mini-mechs, mega-mechs. None of those are above.
Well, understood. Nothing will go in there.
If you have nothing that you have seen, touched, smelled, taste, or experienced, go in there.
So Zim, cut off the exit part of the room?
What?
So you're saying nothing goes in there. So Zim, cut off the air supply and power to the room.
That would be something that he would seen that would affect it.
I have to admit, I don't see. I have to admit, I don't see a loophole on this.
She's being very thorough.
Always a loophole.
There will be nothing with you directly, indirectly, subdirectly, kind of directly, or even metaphorically, metaphysically, subphysically associated with going into that gravity chamber.
Dude, I'm gonna have to go back and listen to this recording again to find a loophole. There's gotta be one in there somewhere.
The camera got a perfect start for the loophole. Can I get that in writing, please?
Perfect. Would you do me the favor, because that's just a lot for simple mechanic like myself to follow. Could I get all that in writing, please?
She's already sent it to his data pad.
Oh no, you've got to write it to me.
To him in writing.
Oh, I'll write it? Yeah, I'll write it. And she'll turn away and start walking back. But, she'll start walking away back. And, get towards the gravity chamber, put a hand on it and say, "No one will hurt you anymore," and walk away.
Alright.
He'll find the loophole.
He'll die, but I guess he'll do it.
Oh yeah, I fully accepted Makehammer's probably going to be killed pretty soon by Firefly, so...
Yeah, probably.
By the way, you guys still haven't handed in that contract.
Oh, no, okay. My bases are covered. I'm good.
Yeah, like, I freaking handed over Doom to Dova, and it's like, I'm expecting the new character to be introduced in the station somewhere, and it's like, you guys are just still on the ship.
Just fucking around on the ship.
Oh, yeah, also,
You guys
she has
have, like,
Doom.
Hyper Las Vegas right there. And you have, a free ride wristband.
And we're trying to get into a room.
Yeah, and you're just hanging out in the hotel room, watching TV. And then fighting each other.
Well, I am
Hey,
done
Zim.
with what I did.
Jaffer's got the proper mood going.
Yes?
He's already
Zim.
got arrested.
Open the damn chest.
I may actually get an
Open the
opportunity
what?
to,
On the stream, there's a chest that you're supposed to open.
I may be able
Yes,
to
I
keep my
know.
wings, because if I can argue self-defense because they assaulted me as opposed to escorting me out like they were supposed to.
I gotta go through and give the crown rewards to everybody before I open the chest.
Jaffer, if I have to bail you out of prison and make more debt for myself,
I mean, would it be dapped to this point?
Because it was self-defense. The security guards didn't do what they said they were going to do. If they were going to escort me out, they would have escorted me to the front. Instead, they attempted to assault me, and so I defended myself, and no one was killed.
Is this like on the phone call that you're allowed to have at like the security station?
I'm not going to use my phone call until I know what they want. Besides, legally, it's not one phone call. They're actually allowed. They must give you any reasonable phone calls you request for.
No. You don't know the rules in a Lancer world.
This
Especially
is
not one on the outer rim.
this is basically, yeah,
what stays on the pleasure cruise stays in the pleasure cruise.
yeah, pretty much.
For all you know, they could give you a fucking plastic cup and a piece of string and tell you to yell into it loudly.
You are watchtower.
Yeah.
Riding along in the back of a what it essentially amounts to a SWAT van. You're brought in fairly sizable, kind of fancy-looking manacles with a fair bit of engravings on them. You're brought to a security station. Your obvious weapons
sec.
would be
Dusty,
confiscated for
we're
now.
still getting a lot of background
I only
noise
have
from
two,
you.
the knife and the pistol. And for police, I would have surrendered them. Hell, if the security guards had asked me to disarm and walk out the front, I would have done so. It's the casino guard's fault for trying to assault me.
And you're explaining this to the
Oh yeah.
Alright.
They attacked me, I defended myself, and then I rendered triage. I'm not the threat here.
They don't seem to have too much care in the world as to whether or not that claim is true for now. But you get to spend a few hours in a cell with. Actually, you get a cell to yourself. The large holding cell that you've been placed in is currently vacant aside from yourself. But you can see across the way is it's kind of a large communal cell with two people in it currently. It appears that they're a couple from a more affluent place in society, possibly further along, maybe owning a colony in the was it the Dawnline Shore? Yeah, Dawnline Shore. But they are incredibly drunk, and they are kind of half asleep in the corner.
I'm not going to disturb them then. Waking up a drunk person is never a good idea.
They're also across the hall. With verbal means, it would be likely impossible with those guys.
So you can avoid the time, you can't avoid the ride.
Firefly, you do receive a call on your communications device.
She will accept it.
This is a security detachment aboard the leisure station. We believe we have apprehended one of your crew members. At the time, we're still processing exactly what charges should be levied. But we are doing our due diligence in letting you know.
Do you know what the incident was about?
We received a report that the crew member violently assaulted two casino personnel. However, they did render aid to the personnel, so we're still consulting and seeing exactly what should be done.
Her first thought was like, "Oh, that's Doom. Wait, Doom's right here. Who is that? Oh, healing. Gotcha."
When I was imagining when she first heard charges, she said, "All right, what's Scrapper do?"
Yeah.
Since they are technically under your charge, we're allowing a bit of leeway as long as you promise that they will be punished as you see fit.
Yes, I shall administrate a great punishment for this insubordination and disgrace that has been placed upon your ship. As soon as the charges have been filed, please send it over so I can review them and make according punishments.
Very well.
And if you can, please let me know what the name of call sign is so I know who to reprimand.
All right. Would you have been giving out information, Watchtower?
Yeah, I would have been cooperating with the authorities completely.
All right.
So the full name of the character is Salcar Fisher.
The heavens open.
And she'll wait for him to return ship before she pulls him off to the side and has a private conversation.
All right.
He'll go the same. I defended myself. They attacked me first. Once the threat was neutralized, I fixed it. I see nothing wrong with what I did.
If that's
Everyone's really...
character to character, she would say, as long as it was self-defense, I see no need to recommend.
Hammer's going to accidentally disconnect the communications on the ship.
Well, at this point, Watchtower would have been back. He basically gets brought. He only gets returned his weapons, basically in a sealed plastic container.
So I don't get my chips?
No.
Alright, before I leave, then I'd like to formally press charges against the 2 guards that assaulted me and the casino for theft.
Are you sure?
They assaulted me.
All right.
As long as we have a solid case, I do not see an issue for that. It was unnecessary force for acting in self-defense. When one is apprehended, no violence should ensue as long as the other party is following willingly and not showing any type of resistance.
Which I didn't until they attacked me.
Do I get a sense of like he's lying, or because it's not really like an insight check?
No, I'm telling the truth here. I was cooperating with them until they attacked me.
Yeah, but she also just got done talking with McHammer, so...
All right,
Hell, if you can get access to the security footage, which the police would have had access to...
Can I get access to that?
I mean, you can certainly try.
I want to get access to that.
All right. Go ahead and give me a skill check.
Cool. That is like a base get a hold of if I've never known.
Yeah, get a hold of something. I want this recording.
I can't see. I rolled it too far.
18! Oh,
18
nice.
plus 6.
All right, so after spending the remainder of your entire first day here, basically doing a little bit of research on the on who's who and who to talk to, you eventually you think you've been pulling all the right strings, but the actual people who you're getting the footage from, basically through a few back channels and some favors, get back to you saying, I'm looking at the security cam footage for that area and it is wiped. I'm not sure what to tell you.
That tells me more than you realize. Thank you very much. You have been great value to me. It has increased by a certain percentage. Thank you.
A lack of evidence is still evidence.
Hang up.
She'll go to Jaffer's character.
Yeah, I'm happy enough to be called Jaffer in any game. It doesn't bother me.
Okay.
You know, next character I'm just going to call sign Jaffer.
And she will go, well, it seems the video is wiped, which raises more questions, but gives a valid point to your experience. Those that are innocent, they tend to like to hide for these incidents. Therefore, I have only one recommendation for the future. Either A, do not get caught, or 2, do not leave any witnesses.
So saying don't heal them again in future. Okay.
If they assaulted you first, they are enemies, and we get rid of enemies.
Insight 1. Yep, it's the don't leave anyone alive to don't leave anyone alive next time.
Yep. She turns back and goes back to space, petting her space crab.
That or disable the pagers.
Yes. Part of don't get caught.
But you did say it was that the pages were like payday. Does that mean I can actually like stealth, do a mission like Payday, and because I'm in VR, I can hide behind a pop light because all they can see is my face.
I'd say if you manage to hack every single one of those pagers to be reporting correct vital information without setting off any sort of trend alarms.
I mean, if anyone could hack it, it'd be me.
Mm.
But no, I'm not planning on heisting a casino. I did a fucking Payday.
Scrapper, I forgot. What were we doing?
Researching the coffee machine.
Gotcha. As
So no, I did not leave the ship either.
all right.
Literally none of us have gone. Only
We're
Jeffer's
hanging out
gone.
in an RV at Walt Disney World.
She doesn't care. She asked, "Does this place have explosions?" And they said they have supplies for it. And she said, "Like, oh, right."
They do have explosions. They have a very cool fruit explosion, like a theater, where they put these special fruits on the heads of lower class, and they explode all over them.
I mean, they do have really cool shooting ranges.
Yeah, I'm kind of bullshitting, but yeah.
Okay, no, I get you.
You got my last AM, right?
I know that sounds exactly like something that they would have here.
Hey, Zerth.
Like paying some of the workers to throw fruit at them or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting on that, on the writing for that.
I'm putting in an official legal document.
Great, because I've got an attorney friend who's gonna look it over and find that loophole for me.
We'll see. I was very thorough.
Just say "in bad faith" somewhere in there, and then you're good.
I mean, to be fair, Firefly does have an AI backing up the loopholes for them.
Why do you think Zim's calling upon an attorney?
And you can also be wrong and just be right anyways, because you're the captain.
Exactly.
Yeah, captain's rules.
Mm-hmm. So,
I would
next day-
expect Firefly to have more decency and respect for the word of law than just saying, "I'm the captain, that's why."
I mean, that's how the ship works. That's
But
exactly what it works.
they don't even. Yeah, they don't even need to say they're the captain. That's just the captain rules when you came on board.
Mm-hmm.
So, next day comes, and Firefly, you have a sort of urgent mail on your device saying, "We're worried that you might have become lost. Even though we offered you guidance, we are still waiting on the delivery of the contract. This is time sensitive."
She will respond. Sorry, we had some malfunctions in a coding system. It seems to be all fixed for now. We shall have it to you later today. Assuming this message was like super early in the morning.
Yeah, it just you got it basically just before you woke up.
Yeah, and she will start getting ready.
All right.
And before she leaves the ship, she is gonna let Doom know to protect that room. And anybody,
All right.
I'll message you her orders.
All right.
Hey, Dova,
And
out
if-
of curiosity,
Oh boy.
is there a deck below the gravity room?
Technically. So
Great.
it's on the main deck. So basically the same deck that the hangar deck is on. There's basically two decks. The hangar deck is kind of the bottom. There's one that's a little bit above that, maybe like half a floor above that, with the crew quarters in the engineering bay. And then one more up is the is kind of the hallway leading up to the bridge. But below, there would be space below the gravity generator.
Maintenance tunnels, right?
Yeah, stuff like that.
Okay,
Kind of ventilation shafts and stuff like that.
good to know.
All right.
McHammer for this day is gonna go ahead and leave the ship. He'll leave it alone for now.
All right.
He's gonna go ashore and find something to do. Probably hit the spa. Really
All
make
right.
those people work, you know.
I get you. Anybody else leave the ship, go into the resort?
I'm gonna help with the delivery.
She's gonna complete the mission before
Alright.
she'll probably after the job is done, she'll probably explore this quote unquote pleasure cruise and find out what it's about.
All right.
And I'm gonna help with the delivery today.
Where are you going? Watchtower. What was that? Sorry.
I'm gonna help with the delivery.
Okay.
Awesome.
Dusty, we can hear the TV in the background.
I turned on my mic because I was gonna say Paloma or Scrapper, thoroughly defeated by the coffee machine, is probably just gonna go somewhere else and tag along with somebody. Probably go complete the mission also.
All right. So I say Paloma, Firefly, and Watchtower currently kind of delivering the contract. Basically, it would entail a meeting with the actual contract issuer. As after that, automated drones and cargo personnel can basically move the thing off your ship and get it in the right place. But the one of the sort of butlers / assistants kind of guides you to a kind of a central position of administration and kind of power in the station itself, and just up an opulent, basically a turbo lift, because you can definitely feel it moving you more than just up and down. It does kind of goes to the side a little bit, and then it's just kind of moving sideways, and you can see out the windows. The lift is actually moving through a bit of an open space. Perhaps maybe a articulated rail along the top. As you can see, yeah, basically a Wonkavator, but much larger on the inside. It's about the size.
So it's a Time Lord Wonkavator.
Yeah, it's about 30 by 20 feet inside, with gilded furnishings and genuine wood.
Ooh.
So fancy, real fancy stuff. But you're brought into a large antechamber. The ceiling's about 100 to 200 feet high, with a sort of a glittering glass ceiling above, with stained glass insets. You can see the stars just outside it. But they don't seem to be anything sort of mythological in particular. It just seems to look very nice sort of patterns. But they don't seem to really check your weapons or any equipment as you're brought into the what appears to be the administrator's office. You could see one of the walls is entirely glass, looking out over a gigantic expanse of one of the larger sort of biodomes. The one dedicated to sort of nature preserves and sort of resorts.
A magnanimous
Full-on
dispensation.
beaches and forests in the distance, and almost sort of natural splendor that can't really be matched in space.
Good night.
But sitting behind the desk, looking fairly apathetic and
Dova,
bored, is yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but this one, Toshime, thank you so much for that donation.
It
The
was
donation,
$50.
yeah,
Ooh.
the donation goal has well and thoroughly been achieved.
All right.
Like I said, holy in chat.
Yeah. That's why with that amount, I'm like, I'm sorry, Dova, I gotta interrupt you at that point with that. Thank you so much, Toshime.
Damn.
Anyways,
All
go
right.
ahead and continue.
So sitting behind the desk in fairly plain-looking business clothing, little epaulets on the shoulders, is a middle-aged man, gray hair, a very sort of square face. Just kind of stands very politely and motions you to sit in the chairs and kind of scattered around. It's a pleasure to meet you all. And my name is Bartholomew. Well, they know the person the station's named after. Don't get too crazy about it, though. So you're the crew that was delivering the special package that I've got on the roster here.
That is affirmative. We are the ones. And
Mhm.
she'll hold out her hand for a shake.
Seems to politely decline it.
She nods. Understand it.
Well, it's I hope the accommodations are worth your while. But as soon as I get my people in there to verify the integrity of the goods, then everything will be exchanged and you'll be on your way.
Very well. Though I do warn you, it had a odd odor to it. They may want to wear biohazards level 2 to get near it.
Odd as in a corpse on a summer day in a desert or in a rainforest?
More rainforest. It was more
Rainforest?
hazy and humid.
Perfect. That definitely bodes well as far as your payment goes.
Very good.
Now, I do have to speak about another matter before we go any further. I did receive a bit of some word through various channels that you, and he looks over towards Watchtower, had caused a little bit of trouble in one of the casinos.
They attacked me first. I defended myself, and then when the threat was neutralized,
I know exactly what happened. I know exactly what led up to it. And what I will say, especially in regards to the case, which I had seen is starting to be filed, you may want to pick your battles.
No, I never expected the case to win.
Then, why file it? Regardless,
Revenge.
I'll accept 2 of my security personnel being injured in exchange for a bit of goodwill between us, so that you can stay here peacefully.
Yeah.
Very
Or
as long as they don't attack me, I have nothing against them.
he gives a very dry, he gives a very slight sort of dry smile towards you. And finally, a bit of bad news. The contract which was drafted up was technically made out to the late captain. And I have looked through the paperwork, and sadly for you at least, the payment must go to the deceased's estate first. I don't know what state those accounts are in, but since this was made before their death, then this will go to the debtors first.
Mm.
However, since you did complete it and deliver it, even though the captain had passed, which my condolences,
She nods.
I am offering you a free stay here for as long as you wish, within reason. I don't.
Under-
There are no real accommodations for permanent residents here.
That is understandable, considering the oh god, what is the word for seasoned of this ship. Ones do not stay long enough here.
Mm-hmm. I will give you access to some of the station's data networks. There is a contract board specifically for starfarers of your type, which you might be interested in.
That would be acceptable.
Have a pleasant rest of your day.
Mm.
As he sits back down on his very large leather chair and kind of swivels it to kind of keep peering out the window.
She stands up, nods, and leaves. And then once she leaves, and they're completely alone, just her and Jaffer by themselves, she's gonna lean over to him and say, if his body happens to disappear, I would look the other way.
At this stage, I only attack in self-defense.
Yes.
They leave me alone, I leave them alone.
Very good. But let's keep a watchful eye on our surroundings while here. I have a feeling this is not going to end until we are off this ship.
I'm always watching.
She nods.
Hence the call sign.
Yep.
So, as you guys are sort of heading back and maybe looking for a place to relax a little bit, there's a cry of joy from down the street. As you look, you see rounding the corner in a full sprint, arms cradling what looks to be a gigantic pile of of chips that are just steadily just dropping by and kind of plinking to the ground, along with various vouchers, certificates, and other sort of stuff, is a completely buck naked man. Short, and about 10 steps behind him is a very bewildered looking security detachment, chasing after him, basically just trying to get him off the streets.
Are any of the security guards the ones that I've seen before?
No.
What on earth?
I think it would have just been amazing to go, "Hey guys!" They run past if it was the same.
No, these are basically like the drunk patrol.
Oh, okay.
Unarmed, aside from like a taser and a pair of handcuffs. They basically just make sure that the drunk don't cause too much damage. But as this one speeds by, a handful of the items kind of drops by, and he just hollers loudly and happily that it appears that he won a jackpot of some sort as he speeds by, leaving a trail of poker chips and free drink vouchers on the ground. But you notice, specifically for you, Watchtower, that one of those chips is actually quite a high value one, and appears to be slightly higher than the amount that you would have lost due to you walking away figuratively from the previous casino. In addition, you do find kind of a small stack of free drink vouchers to one of the more popular bars.
All right, I'm going to wait for the security guards to run past first, and then pick it up.
They're focused on catching him.
Okay, I just don't want don't want them to see it in the peripheral vision. So wait till they go past, and then I'm gonna tie my shoe and pick it up as I go.
All right.
There seems to be quite a few characters on this ship.
I suspect a lot of other people are probably grabbing stuff from the trail as well.
Yeah. There's a fairly fairly large amount of people just picking up poker chips and whatever they can off the ground.
I'm blending in with that, but I'm just grabbing the denomination. I'm not to be greedy or grab everything. I'm just grabbing the denomination now. Or maybe some drink vouchers. Give those to McHammer. Get him off the ship. Actually, I'll hand those to the captain. It's like, these might come in handy for McHammer.
Very well. Your value has slightly increased. Thank you. She'll take them.
All right. Would you head to the bar listed on the vouchers?
Sure.
All right. The bar itself is a multi-story affair. There's large empty spaces on the inside, and it's kind of styled after like it's a mythological Old West saloon. But a lot of the historical sort of references seem to be a little off. There's little inaccuracies that that seem to kind of highlight the fact that some of the records didn't quite make it through. While the vaults did hold a spectacular amount of information from before the fall, a lot of it's kind of gotten minced up in the march of culture.
The bartender's a robot.
Yep. All the bartenders are robots here. Are you kidding? Fast. You don't have to pay them. Fantastic. Plus, there's just so many bars.
Drink orders wrong?
Perfect. Yep. They always get the drink orders right. They get the tips right. And they look pretty dapper. But you head in. There's the mandatory saloon piano playing. There's actually a boxing ring just next door. You can see through one of the doorways. It's sort of like a boxing ring, except with like those large sticks, like the double-ended padded sticks.
Yeah.
But it's at about this moment that you notice that the clientele is varied, very energetic, and a lot of them are quite sloshed. Saf. This would have probably been the place that you would be at this point. You'd been kind of searching around for the past few days and not catching many leads. There was a woman who was claiming to be from a royal family, but in your gut you just didn't quite trust them. But now in through the door kind of strides three figures who just have that sort of lancer look to them, a sort of a confident stride, and also the equipment that one would carry.
Rank up. Hold the line. This hamlet shall not fall.
She'll move up and change seats at the bar to be slightly closer. Still drinking something that's faintly smelling of exotic fruits. Still very alcoholic, but
of course.
It's in a rather higher grade glass than just a simple stein of alcohol or wine.
Watchtower's gonna have water.
Is she sitting are they sitting next to us?
They're sitting rather close. They're very noticeable by their blue hair. which is sort of folded back into a ponytail, clearly stylized by some form of hairdresser that is not commonly found around this place. They wear a hard suit, which is complete with a cape and military laurels, not laurels, and generally stick out like a sore thumb in a place like this. However, it seems that nobody cares because they're either too busy in their pleasure yachts or paid off.
You're a lancer. People don't mess with lancers.
Firefly's gonna turn around and look at her and just go, "What is that drink that you are drinking?"
One thing at a time.
Hi, Pallet.
Hello.
Seth?
I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I can't actually remember
I can come back to you if you want.
No. It's I'm trying to make up a fruit. This is at the top of my head.
Black papaya.
It's a black papaya alcoholic beverage. Why?
I have never seen or smelled anything like that before. Quite interesting. I was wondering how it tastes.
You can find many such beverages on a place like this, providing that you can afford them, of course.
Very well. And she'll look at the bartender in motion and point to one of those. It's like, I would like to experience one of those black papayas.
The eternally smiling bar maiden kind of whirs and makes kind of comical little cog noises. You can see that they were clearly modeled to be a little bit steampunk, but they're definitely, subalterns underneath. But with a very dramatic flourish, they place the glass in front of you.
She'll nod and drink it.
It's like it's very similar to a rather exotic tasting papaya fruit with like gin and vodka mixed in. It's like it's like it has a bite to it to begin with, but then the fruit almost overwhelms the senses.
Fun fact, Firefly doesn't drink alcohol.
All right.
At all. Like, none.
Yeah, there's a little weird taste behind it all that it's kind of displeasing at first, but you're not exactly sure what it is. Tastes great though.
This is a lot more palatable than I originally thought. Value has gone up slightly for this drink. Thank you. May I inquire what your name is?
My name is Yan Fei of the House of Valley. I believe you are captain of the I forget what the ship's name is.
Shellback.
The Shellback, which has recently come into port.
Yes, I am. Though, how would you know that, if I may inquire?
I have my sources. You are quite noticeable in these regions, particularly a ship carrying more than 3 lancers.
That is true. I never did consider that. That's very good insight that you have there. Your value has increased slightly since meeting you. The code name is Firefly, but you may call me Allie Star. And she'll hold out her hand.
She'll shake it. I have been looking to acquire the services of mercenaries such as yourself.
Really? What is the job that entitles, and how much does it pay?
Well, I'd first like to experience working with you to build up a certain level of trust and camaraderie before I can entrust the further fortunes that I have uh, locked away to you. However, what I have to say is that the job will eventually entail the disposition of certain individuals of high standing that have unlawfully took a position that should have been mine.
Hmm. Yes, a what's the word? Coup de grace type mission. Understandable.
But like I said, I would prefer to get to know you first.
That too is understandable. Always get to know who you're working with before trusting valuable missions and informations with. It is how teams are made, I believe, is what the term is. A test run, if you will.
Yes. From my sources, I understand that you are at least very reliable, but you also don't have a problem with standing up to authority if it comes to your fellow crewmates.
Yes, as long as they have not done wrong and acted in a manner fitting, I shall, as you put it, stand up for them.
But as a show of good faith, I have put a slight bounty on information on a recent job. A contact should be coming in any moment now to meet with me, and you may listen in and see if you can, see if you would like to share with the workload, as per se. I am also a lancer. I go by the call sign of Arbiter.
Very intriguing code name. I go by the code name Firefly.
It's at this moment that Firefly's comm device goes off.
She'll look at it. Or answer it.
Right.
Hey, Cap! You should totally come try out this spa. It might get you to relax a bit. Oh, this feels great.
That's just junk mail.
Did McHammer just spa dial his captain?
Yep.
How drunk is McHammer right now?
Yes.
All right, cool.
She
Oh man, this place is great. You gotta come try it. Relax, live a little.
She's just gonna hang up and just mutter. It's to herself. It's almost like having offspring that I did not have to go through.
The comm device rings again.
Is there some kind of issue?
No, more a rowdy crew member of mine wants to get my attention and me join in the festivities.
It just keeps ringing.
Some of the facilities around here are enjoyable. However, I would assume you would not want to avail yourself of them while we are currently in business propositions.
Yes. She will probably on the sixth ring. she'll answer it.
Cap! Have you tried it? Did you get over to the spa yet?
You can hear like a lot of rushing water in the background.
Yes, McHammer, you seem quite at ease in your current location. Do take a rest and recover. Have a drink on me.
Hey, you heard the lady! Drinks on her!
You hear a chorus of uproarious yells in the background. Sounds like he's just in a bar, really.
Is it a rubber duck just drifts by with a metal guitar?
So it's at about this time that Tanuki, you'd be walking in. You've been plying your trades across the various bars, saloons, and kind of gathering points over yesterday, as well as kind of heading out and doing the same thing today. But basically, the bar that they're in is a kind of a replica, a quasi replica of an Old West saloon. But it's about 5 stories tall with a gigantic atrium. But it looks like there's a burlesque show happening right now.
Somebody's got class.
There's a lot of like fizzy, fruity drinks. There's a boxing ring next door. It's kind of a crazy, wacky place, but you do see Firefly, Scrapper, and Watchtower. I'm currently at the bar talking with somebody who looks like one of the more lively locale. A gal with fairly bright blue hair. But she seems to have Firefly's attention, who is currently fending off comm requests from a extremely drunk McHammer.
Can I
It starts ringing again.
To himself?
I want you to give me a skill check. As you just basically like gently take the comm device from Firefly for a moment.
Hold comm device gently, like hamburger.
19.
All right. You hand it back as the call answers itself and feeds a very delayed voice of McHammer back into the call.
Hey, did you guys know this place has a destruction derby?
Hey, did you guys know this place has a destruction derby?
I'm gonna go blow some stuff up!
Would he be at the point where he'd be talking to himself, though? Where he, yeah, would McHammer be that drunk?
Probably.
All right.
Tanuki will roll her eyes and head off towards the you said it was a boxing ring?
Mm-hmm.
But before he heads off, she'll nod appreciation, and just say, "Your value has increased. Thank you for dealing with that."
You're welcome.
Tanuki, what would you say? Sorry, you were a little bit quiet.
I think I was gonna head off towards the boxing ring.
Okay. You can see that there's currently 2 people in it, just going at each other with what looks to be those kind of 2-ended combat sticks. Can you stop that? You're throwing shit.
Well, the chat said throw like football, so I think that was the closest.
Okay.
Hey, Dova, this is a very important roll real fast.
Okay.
So 15 to blow something up.
All right. They somehow let you in the heavily padded, heavily safety featured ground vehicle.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna. I'll PM you about it. I got an idea for this.
All right.
Oh no.
Tanuki, what were you gonna do with the boxing arena?
I was gonna trade elbows with whoever's around, who's feeling talkative, who's already talking, and see what I can engage in conversation and pick up.
All right. Go ahead and give me a skill check.
Okay. I don't know if that rolled correctly. That seemed weird. But it's a
sorry, I
1.
didn't see it.
It looked like it didn't even leave the surface of the table. It just twirled.
Oh, you just roll again.
Okay, that's.
There you go.
I'll take it.
And I'm guessing you can add one of your skill triggers to it.
Yeah. I'm sure I have something like that. Yeah. Just gotta pull it up. Word on the street.
All right.
+2.
+2. All right. Let's say you wouldn't be able to unearth anything that you haven't heard before so far. You would have definitely, I'd say, over the previous day and a half, come to the conclusion that the sort of system of law around here is definitely skewed a lot towards the actual station owners. Yeah, basically, as long as you sort of follow the quote-unquote rules, you're all right. But as soon as you kind of step outside those, then a lot of bad things can happen. Kind of sounds a lot like the tactics of the mafia to you. You also yesterday you heard from one of the dock workers in a very kind of a quiet, almost like an employee bar. That basically an entirely unmarked ship docked the other day, and it's been just kind of sitting there. And he was kind of complaining about how he had to bring some seriously heavy equipment over to the ship and just basically leave it right outside. And he wasn't actually allowed to look at the equipment as it was being loaded onto the ship.
That's worth checking out.
You would have heard that the container itself, you're guessing was about half the size of of like a standard shipping container, so about size 5, just cargo volume wise. And it had the texture itself was almost like a very faint sort of a hexagonal pattern on it. But he would have kind of been blabbing and complaining, knowing that it was empty, but still having to load it on anyways. And it was just kind of annoying.
Weird. I'll keep that in mind.
All right. So, as you have a heck of a time, I'd say with your combat reflexes, you'd be able to basically thrash whoever came into the arena, as a lot of them were fairly inebriated and not very well trained.
Lovely. Hey, could use the exercise. I've been having a lot of drinks at the bars and food.
Mm-hmm. As you come back onto the main saloon floor, you are very well winded. What was I looking at? So
Tough.
I think everyone's currently in one place aside from McHammer, who.
So, just to clarify, how much was that chip?
Um, it's kind of in store or in station credits, but basically it's the same amount that at about 100 mana would have bought you. So it's pretty substantial amount.
Mm-hmm. So you want to just add 100 mana equivalent?
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah, does that contact come in now?
At about this time, yeah. They almost managed to slip in the front door without anybody seeing them. You know, when you imagine a saloon, you imagine a stranger walking in would just draw a lot of attention just from like slamming the doors open. But this guy just kind of slips in, and without much fuss, places his briefcase down on the booth next to him and sits down in the agreed meeting spot. It's a very plain looking man. Kind of similar to the station owner, the Baron, but much thinner. He's wearing very dark sunglasses, along with what amounts to a business suit, basically.
I'm gonna order 3 new drinks for the table. Gonna tap my new captain friend on the shoulder and move towards.
I'll pay attention. Because she told me to observe, so.
All right.
Well, she moves over to another table and gestures for you to follow, so.
Oh, I follow then. She's letting you take the lead since this is your little mission.
Mhm. So the as you kind of sit across from them. Sorry.
What do the flowers drink on the pale night?
An ostrich rose set in Chardonnay.
He looks across from you and just says, "Sparkling dew."
Okay. And she takes a
correct?
seat.
You're not doing the Black Brother call-outs. It's got to be, something or other my brother.
Correct. I take it there's been no trouble?
No trouble so far.
Well,
we are prepared to make a new offer.
This is Captain Firefly of a mercenary company that I am hiring. They will sit in because the mission is on need to know between the 3 of us.
Looks over to you and just says, "Charmed."
I bet. She takes a drink of her drink.
Anyway, do go on.
The overarching details have not changed. However, there has been new information from our informants. A important object is well within all of our grasps, which is important for the goal.
Sorry.
I can provide the exact information on the target, as well as any other incidental information when the contract is accepted.
And
Captain Firefly,
Mhm.
none of this information is to be shared with anybody. Do you understand?
Yes, I do understand.
Perfect.
And the agreed terms, we are still in agreement. You get your share and we get ours.
Correct. We've in discussion, we have actually deemed the allocation of more mana for the reward. So you will see your payout doubling across the board. Assuming that all goals are met and no blood is shed on our side, figuratively.
Of course.
Good. You'll find any changes to the actual accommodations listed inside the dossier. As he stands up, straightening his tie. Our supplier will be in contact shortly.
Very good.
As he
This
leaves.
is the G-Man.
Basically, it looks a lot like the G-Man, yeah. Except a black suit instead of a blue one.
Well, before he goes, he would be able to take away a bottle with my compliments, just to grease the wheel, so to speak.
With sort of a blank stare, he looks at the gift and just kind of waves his hand. I don't drink. As he turns to leave.
You're missing out on one of life's pleasures then, but understandable.
Not one for distractions.
The right drink in the wrong place can make all the difference in the world.
About 20 seconds after he leaves, there's a very slight shuddering in the ground as something explodes in the distance.
I didn't do it.
Is McCamus still talking to himself on the on the call?
Have you been listening in on it at all?
I haven't been listening, but I might, after hearing an explosion, I'm like, I'm just gonna turn the volume up a little bit for myself. Like, is he still talking?
Oh no! Oh crap! Oh, that was a bit more than I expected. Oh crap!
Yeah, I was like, yep. Who do you think?
Jeez, Firefly hears that explosion. It's like, that's either McHammer or Scrapper. It's the only two I can think of. That's one of my crew members now. I know that.
You're not irked by the secrecy of the situation, correct?
No, actually, I've had quite many of these type of dealings in my time. It is not uncommon to keep things, as you would say, close to the chest.
Good. That makes the likelihood of hiring yourselves quite high. I'm not below the board, but I do like to keep my highest matters to myself, if you understand.
Understandable. And as of right now, you're not part of my crew. Therefore, you and all your matters can be kept to yourself, as long as they don't jeopardize mine and my crew.
The only jeopardizing to speak would be if you were to fool around on the mission. I assure you that if you hold true to your reputation as Lancers, then the payout will be fine.
Understandable. And we will. And then, like, mini anime voice says, oh, shit.
It's a simple case of she's not jeopardizing you for the sake of it, but if you were to fool around on a mission, then you'd be jeopardizing yourself. So she can wash her hands of that.
Mostly we'll end up stabbing ourselves if it's our fault than anything than getting stabbed. Yeah.
Anyway, enjoy the drink while we wait.
Thank you.
I assume I'm allowed to a certain leeway with drinks given my background, Dova?
Pretty much. Plus, there's quite a bit of discounts on drinks in this area, especially for those who just kind of basically being on the station gives you a heavy discount for most drinks. A lot of them just being free.
Those who are willing to splurge.
Yeah, if you're willing to splurge, you get real expensive and nice stuff. But like a beer or like a vodka cranberry is basically free.
Anyway, while we wait, I would like to know more of the Lancers under your command.
Tanuki walks up at this exact moment.
Kind of sweating a little bit.
Makehammer's trying to call the captain.
Tanuki will turn to the bar. Mind giving me a Cosmo?
I looked at Jaffer and looked at the phone. It's like, how bad is it before I answer this phone call?
The southern, like the kind of faintly Southern Belle waitress bot kind of chirps up and says, "Well, sure thing, hon." Kind of clanks and clonks off and gets your drink for you.
I don't know how bad, but the explosion was bigger than what he expected.
How has one with no value still on my ship? I will never know this. And
in combat, he breaks things as easily as he breaks them out of combat.
True. He's very good as a, how did Scrapper put it? Meat shield. Yes, that's the other term they used. And she'll begrudgingly answer the phone.
Captain, I might have accidentally blown out of the station.
Holy shit, are you okay? You can hear it like muffled in the background as emergency workers kind of swarm over the wreck of your car.
Yeah, I'm okay. Nothing new here. Just oops.
Okay, give me a second.
Yan Fei just sort of quirks her eyebrow at you while you're on your Omni hook, wondering why your face is even paler than the pale corpse that you portray your character as.
She goes, "McHammer, how are you still alive after this?"
Oh, it's not the first time I've been in the vacuum of space.
Won't be the last either. Well, swim your way back to the ship then, and she hangs up.
I mean, he's already been in, he's already in the station again, I'd assume.
She's gonna look at the comments like, if only space could kill him, our ship value would go up greatly.
I can assure you that despite appearances, your at least your reputation precedes you.
You sound like you've got your hands full with that one.
That's a way to put it.
I don't envy you.
She takes a long drink.
And this must be Tanuki, right?
Yeah, that'd be me. Pleasure making your acquaintance.
Charmed. I am Yanfei Valley. I'm in the process of discussing business with your captain.
My captain? I wouldn't call them my captain.
Well,
a
you...
recent acquaintance.
But you do live aboard the ship that they run, right?
For the moment, until I'm
Then they are
paid
your
my
captain
dues.
for the moment.
I suppose, if you want to be technical about it. I'm doing a job. Or rather, I've done the job.
Well, there may be more job in the future for yourself. Especially a
Perhaps.
lancer such as yourself.
Lancer, I like the sound of that. You've got your drink yourself, I presume?
You can see that she's ordered. There's like a tropical high glass. You know, one of those very tall conal glasses, which have things like very exotic margaritas and stuff in them.
Mm-hmm.
Herself and Firefly both have one. Seems like she's bought one for the for Firefly there. Well, any member of Firefly's crew is welcome to join while we wait for the details.
I appreciate it.
Yes.
She'll take a seat.
What was your character's name again?
Mine?
Mine.
Yeah.
Which one? Mine or Pellet?
7 on ours.
Yan Fei. You can call her Yan.
Firefly will look over to Pallet and just go, this is Yan Fei, a new temporary member. We are currently taking under a mission for hers as a test run to another mission. She will be joining us for the foreseeable future.
You're quite the gossip of the station and the local OmniNet. Connection permitting, of course. There's tales of how you beat a pirate fleet all by yourselves.
We managed.
Well, you'll find the news travels quickly on the rim here.
I'm starting to realize that.
Of course, only news pertaining to the rim travels quickly. You'll find that core worlds are generally quite out of date, unfortunately.
I've definitely noticed that, yes.
Yes.
Anyhow, where is that Cosmo?
You turn around and it's at about that moment that the robot bartender kind of clanks it down right in front of you, sliding it forward very gently. Y'all enjoy now.
Thank you. Yeah. That's not bad. I can't speak any ill will of it.
As far as pleasure stations have gone, this one has been almost as enjoyable as something I would find back home. There are a few things I have taken up with the Baron, but other than that, he runs a good store here.
That is good to know.
You get the impression that she's used to better, basically.
As is Tanuki.
Yeah. Firefly's just kind of existing.
A good thing to do.
Hmm.
But yeah, other than that, just waiting for the information to come in over.
All right. About 30 minutes later, you receive a shipping receipt on your comm device showing that your requested package has been delivered. It appears to be it appears to be like kind of a legitimate receipt from the like the station logistics quarters. Basically the same sort of mail you'd get if you ordered like room service or like a gaming console to your room.
Okay. Well, I have to go pick up a package now. Shall I meet you aboard your shellback, was it?
Yes.
The receipt does note that it was delivered to the shellback.
Firefly is gonna quickly send a message to Doom about the new crew member.
Vega would probably respond to that.
This person is off the eat list.
Was that a message or an actual like a call?
It was well, Doom doesn't really talk. I mean, she would probably call him.
Okay. This is Doom.
Yes, this is Firefly.
It would be Vega's voice, though. You know that.
Yeah.
I'm not suddenly like 5 milliseconds after you hand me control of the character, just making him speak.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
She's gonna go. We've acquired a new temporary board member, and she will describe her looks and name and all that. She will be accompanying us for the foreseeable future for a few missions. Do not shoot her on sight yet, unless she violates those codes.
We'll be sure to include her among the crew.
Yes, thank you very much.
Also, there has been a delivery. We've left it outside for now, but should we bring it in?
Do I know about the delivery to the ship?
If
Jan Fei would be like
Okay.
waiting to waiting to head to the shellback with him, like a shall we kind of look.
Okay.
Well,
would you have told oh my gosh, Firefly about the package that got delivered?
Yeah.
Okay.
She'll go to Doom. It's like, yes, just put it in the cargo hold with everybody else. Have Bug keep an eye over it.
I'll try to speak to Bug. We had an argument yesterday, and we are no longer on speaking terms.
Very unfortunate. I do hope you two can make amends. He has quite a sparkling personality.
Well, I certainly hope so.
Yes.
Will there be anything else?
And she'll say, like, you two will become great friends. No, we are heading back to our ship momentarily. I will have to collect the error on our way there.
Before you go, I do have a security report to make. We did dissuade one human from boarding. He was not clothed.
Very well. We did see some sorts of those encounters through here. It tends to be a very open community on this ship.
There's a call waiting notification.
It's the Skype ringtone as well, just to be extra annoying.
It seems like I'm being paid. We will be back on board very shortly.
Acknowledged. Cuts out.
Yep. Answer the phone.
Hey, Cap! I guess I got this wreckage.
Stop moving your neck. Stop moving your neck.
Hey, I'm talking on the phone here.
I'm putting this neck brace around you. Stop. Just stay still. You can talk without gesturing like that.
But I'm
I will
fine.
sedate you. We will sedate you.
She will
Just
say,
keep it calm, sir.
can you put a muffle over that one?
I need to. I need your help getting this carb on the ship. They said I could have it, so I want to take it and I'll work on it.
Can anybody else hear this conversation?
Depending on how
No.
loud you have your earpiece, it might be loud enough to bleed through.
My camera's definitely being plenty loud enough.
She'll go, fine. If that will keep you preoccupied, we can put it on the cargo ship. However, I do recommend you sober up. We are leaving soon.
Oh yeah. Vacuum of space is great for that.
I'm
Yes.
gonna chip in. Tell them they need 1.8% more if they want to sedate him. Otherwise, it's just gonna make him more high.
Yes.
I know his vitals.
Do that. Sedate him.
I don't need those. Those are. Oh, that's nice.
I assume that. I assume that one is simply part of your charm.
Yes. We hear a thump.
The paramedic who was working with him just kind of not really yells, but says a bit loudly just to make sure that whoever's on the other side can hear it. He says, "I'll make sure he's delivered back to the ship he's berthed with."
Thank you. That is if you could put
I'm
him
not
in a
getting back and
box,
getting ready.
that would be quite appreciated, especially one that is soundproof.
I don't deal with that sort. We got a gurney. We can have a technician there to transfer him over into your ship.
Yes, please do that.
All
But
right.
leave him strapped to the gurney.
I'm gonna start. heading
Except
back
that
to the
he's
ship
gonna.
at a
They're
slightly
gonna
faster
need
pace.
4 technicians to move him.
He a big boy.
Yeah.
All right. So you start heading back to the ship.
Yeah.
I am at least to make sure that I'm there when he arrives, because ship doctor.
And I would send Watchtower ahead.
All right. You'd arrive there first, Watchtower, and you'd see that in the sort of kind of the foyer area, there's a very large shipping container, faintly sort of an orange tint, and the texture has a kind of a nice little tiny matte hexagons on it. It looks really sharp.
That looks familiar.
You'd recognize it as you'd actually get there, but that's a little bit later.
Yeah, it's not Nakama, therefore secondary at the moment.
He'd actually take a little while to get there. He'd arrive.
Yeah, so he's going to take some time to get there. Cool. His room is now converted into a semi workable med bay, and I am in his mech waiting for him to arrive, so I can just move him.
All right.
Why bother with a gurney when I can just lift him up and move him? And since my mech doesn't have hands, I figured his mech's probably the best one to steal.
Ringo kind of comes over the PA for, or as soon as Firefly comes on board, saying, "I've been given a very stern sort of instructions to move this onto the ship as soon as possible. I assume you will want that to happen."
Is that the cargo?
Yeah, the sort of half cargo container outside.
Yeah.
The one that's emitting quite a few electromagnetic rays.
She looks over to her new friend.
Say that again. Sorry, Dova.
From what you were looking into you did get a secondary sort of set of instructions, which basically included follow prompts in delivered package.
Okay.
In secure location. Sorry.
Well, your ship is the most secure place on this station, considering that it is fresh and has not been interacted with by the local hooligans. Shall we?
Yes, we shall.
As using a few of the a bit of the loading equipment, you managed to get the cargo container in. I'll edit the inventory so far.
Probably take the Oganesson out as well.
Sorry for kind of just throwing stuff in here, Dova.
No problem. Yeah, I'll take the Oganesson out. 1, 5. Yes, question mark. There we go. You still have that tablet just on the coffee table, by the way.
Oh no, that's not in this universe anymore.
We don't have that tablet on the coffee table because Pallet has it in his room, remember?
No, it's not in this universe at all.
It got transferred to Starfinder.
Yeah.
I think it got copied over, is the...
Oh, okay.
Oh, so it's not a moving tablet, it's a duplicating one. Soon it'll be in every universe.
Yeah. Actually, that one is 8.2 terabytes. So, at some point in this universe, it gets added to, and then it transfers over.
Oh.
Now the fun thing is, next time I do a cross-universe shenanigans with Greaves, is a higher level version from the other universe going to make it back here.
9.1 terabytes.
Zerf is still confused at airships.
It's at about this point that you hear like a little, kind of a very rhythmic kind of a squeaking and clattering from down the hallway as a heavily bandaged, he's got like a neck brace on, almost like a cartoonish sort of bandage setup, is McHammer, unconscious on a gurney with a one of the station technicians with a little insignia on his shoulder, a little satchel by his side with what you presume to be some medical stuff in it. But
Alright, I'm going to direct them to put him in his room, which has been converted into a semi-functional medbay.
all right.
McHammer is snoring loud enough to wake the frickin' dead.
Yeah, the paramedic kind of tips his hat and makes his way out, grabbing his gurney on the way out.
Firefly's comm device starts ringing again.
I pick it up.
All you hear is just very loud snoring.
Did he fucking bed dial me?
Yep.
I want to take his phone out of his pocket and put it on his bedside.
He manages to do it again somehow.
I'm then going to blame the tech for bumping it as they transferred him.
Like, this man is going to be the death of me. I foresee it.
Well, he is unconscious in his bedroom.
I wish that would bring me some solace. I honestly do. But it really doesn't.
Stable conditions, so I don't need to keep monitoring him for now.
I assume there is a reason that you keep such individual around, despite causing so much issue.
Meat cannon. Is all she says.
Yeah, Thea looks slightly perturbed.
And then McHammer snores again in a weird way, and Firefly's comm starts ringing again.
You do note that you do have a block option.
He's unconscious, helpless, and no one's watching him, and his door's unlocked.
I'm not gonna block him as much as her finger hovers longer on that block button than it really should. And she'll just sigh heavily and just put it and just switch it to like whenever he calls, it'll just be on vibrate. Because her thing is like, as much as she wants to do, she knows from a lot of experience.
Hold on.
I think your headset is dying, Zerth.
Hello?
Okay,
Yeah.
there we go.
Okay. She knows from a lifetime of experience that as much as she hates this, that if he's actually in danger and she doesn't want to lose her meat blanket, that it may bite her in the butt.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but unfortunately his comm device is voice activated for calling people, and it seems that his snoring sometimes just sets it off.
She's very practical, much to her. That's her own weakness. She's too practical. She's gonna be on her deathbed and be like, "It's McHammer's fault. I should have muted him so long ago."
All right, so as you all, oops, clicked on the wrong thing. Stop that. Okay. As you all kind of settle in, the cargo door closing, locking. On the side of the cargo container itself is a small little keypad. Not necessarily a keypad, but more like maybe a biometric scanner of sorts.
I'll put my hand on it and then lean in on whatever facial recognition software it probably has as well.
All right. Scans your hand, and then a little like kind of eyepiece kind of slides open and scans your eyeball with a there's a kind of a fuzzy feeling in your eye as it scans, and then faster than you can blink, there's a tiny little needle that emerges from right above the hand scanner, jabs you in the hand and retracts before you actually feel any of the tiny bit of pain. It kind of churns for a moment before a large sort of seam opens up in the on kind of the square side of the container. Eventually kind of hissing and groaning and opening up to show a small space inside. Basically completely empty aside from a small pedestal in the middle, and a large, what appears to be a screen on the side.
Shall we?
Yes.
We'll move inside.
All right.
I'll stand on the. Oh, okay.
Lost my notes.
Suburb fumbles through his papers.
I'm prepared. grief. Decently prepared.
I'd like to think I'm prepared, but the party will always surprise the GM.
Or I just forget to save.
Or the viewers will throw the entire GM's plans out the window with a carnival.
Oh, I don't know how to pronounce that. Okay. Whatever. uh... So, as all of you who are currently conscious kind of squeeze your way in, it's a fairly tight fit, but there's still enough room for you to breathe. As the door kind of closes behind you, the little pedestal in front of you kind of comes to life, showing a tiny holographic representation of the station itself. The screen.
Quick question.
Yeah.
It's relevant. Does this holographic representation show the hole that Make Hammer made?
No, it does not. It's fairly simplistic.
Oh, okay. I just had to make sure.
You're not that important.
You didn't go through the hull with your gigantic explosion, but you did make quite a big dent. The many layers of safety, specifically around the demolition derby part, kept the atmosphere in, but you caused a lot of damage. The view kind of starts to zoom out a bit until you see the fairly sparse solar system that you're in, and then zooms out a little bit further to show the kind of immediate cluster, the 10 or few stars around you. The screen on the opposite side kind of comes to life. It's about the size of a widescreen TV, and it shows a fairly dark, kind of ominous figure with he looks to be wearing a peaked cap. Am I coming through?
Indeed.
Perfect.
These are the
mercenaries I have hired for the job. They can be trusted.
Very well. My name is General Hayes Montgomery, and I will be directing this operation. To put it short, this is the operation to break into something that is designed not to be broken into, and pull stuff out that will change the course of humanity. And the reason I'm calling you right now is because you're the only hands available in that region for the short time span that we have, where the door will be at least partially open. Or, more fittingly, a time where we know the door will exist. Our information has led us to believe that in this area is a door of very instrumental importance. And however, locating that metaphorical, literal door is difficult, to say the least. Your vessel, at some point in the past, has come into possession of half of the information needed to access it. The door codes themselves, we have a plan for. But I believe that the information itself is manifesting on an old data slate you will find my information to be correct. And you guys would remember that while you were trading with the Voladores, you did receive a data slate that seems to be giving out or spitting out random coordinates, leading to somewhere in this kind of general area on the Orion Spur.
Gotcha.
I assume you know to which he is referring.
Yeah, you guys would kind of get what he's getting at. Some of what I say here will not leave this briefing room, as the walls actually it becomes apparent that the walls themselves are actually view screens, leading to a very trippy sensation in which you're kind of standing in space, but you know for a fact that you're still on solid ground.
So it's like me and VR being in the middle of the day.
Yeah, pretty much. And it kind of flashes by a sequence of images showing Union exploratory and investigation teams in some sort of structure. The actual architecture and just the visuals are almost impossible to interpret. I don't believe any of you would have the experience for stuff like this. Not that I think of. But the voice kind of it peaks back up saying, a number of these vaults have been uncovered. 3 in exact. One we didn't get quite a good look at. But this one, as far as we're aware, is completely untouched. And according to our predictions, should be in a reachable area in the coming weeks. To those of you who might have an inkling of what's going on, yes, you are going to be the team breaking into and stealing the contents of a metafold vault.
Interesting.
Well,
He kind of points to a large wall of hieroglyphics, infinitely intricate, on a gigantic wall of pure basalt. You can see there's what looks to be a Sherman frame, almost nearly at the bottom, and it is just minuscule compared to the gigantic wall of carvings.
this just got interesting. No offense.
Needless to say, these things have the power to change the course of the galaxy as a whole.
That's the plan.
Yes.
This is why I felt that
People such as yourselves who would take on pirates just to save a few people would be able to be trusted with such a task, as long as you got compensated, of course. And
Of course.
the sponsor here is offering compensation as well as a reward for myself, which I can discuss at a later date, for taking on this task.
Yes, it does seem a heavy task to take on, though I can see the great value of one's completing this. Now,
Well,
what is the danger level that we are expected for this type of mission?
Well, of the first one that was discovered, the entire team did not come back, as the vault disappeared in the midst of their expedition. They have not been seen since. Statistically, that is a 1 out of 3 chance, since the other 2 the team, most of the team was able to make it out before it unmanifested.
And what did they say happened in there?
Violations of causality, space that does not make any logical sense. The works as far as paracausal studies are concerned.
And may I inquire what you will do once we have achieved our mission with this values?
Depends on what's inside. We know that something is going to happen, but we're not sure exactly what. The inscriptions in the previously excavated or infiltrated Metafold vault indicated that this one would be named Omatiotl. We're not sure exactly if it has any significance.
I'm sorry,
But we're
Tomatio?
guessing. Omatiotl.
Tomitiato.
Sounds Farisian.
Omatiotl.
Ometiato.
Alright, got it. Carry on.
Firefly's comm unit starts vibrating violently.
It does not.
It's actually cut off in this container.
Yeah. You guys have no comm signal in here.
Yep. Not even the ship's AI can get in here.
Nope.
To Firefly, it makes it irrelevant if their benefactor is going to use this for ill intent or not, because it's a job that they're going to get paid for. As far as
Effectively, the compensation for you will be good. I myself will get resources and power back that I should have had, which is why I'm willing to hire you to do this job. We all stand to benefit from it. They get the contents of the vault, you get paid, I get resources.
these terms do seem acceptable for us. I say we are, as what would Scrapper say, on board with it.
Captain's using my meanings.
Good. I wish you the best of luck, as I know that my own contact to you will be sporadic, since you are in the middle of a OmniNet dead zone.
Yes. Do send as much helpful information over, and we shall get this mission completed as fast and accurately as we can.
We will
As
keep the
once you-
container on. We will keep the container, but I would like to extend access to the captain's biometric data here, as well as my own, since they are the head of this ship.
That's acceptable. I'll make sure that a basic data dump is available to you in regards to exactly what to expect when heading inside.
This is acceptable.
However, you still will need to find the actual entry vector. We do have leads on exactly what that might be and what that might entail. We will update you whenever we get that update, whenever we get that information.
I will be waiting for that message.
I assume you will also share this data slate so that they may calculate this vector easier. Since you are on board with this now, Captain Firefly.
Yes, I do not see any reason to hold such back. It will only damage our value for this mission.
Well, that sounds like an excellent proposition. In previous ventures like this, such information isn't necessarily accurate when presented over a quantum link.
Understood.
The transmission cuts out as the door kind of hisses and groans open, letting in a bit of the artificial light from outside. As you kind of get reconnected to the ship's network, you see that you have been sent a fairly sizable dossier. Containing quite a bit of previous sort of past reports from previous expeditions. But you still notice that 99% of the actual content is classified.
Well, you've seen my contact. I assume you know that my mission is genuine now.
Yes.
My mech will be here within the hour. If you have space for accommodation for me.
I believe we do. We do have a few extra rooms. Please choose one to your liking and have your mech delivered to the hangar with the rest. And she will share the tap information if she wants to. But she's gonna go, she'll get up and it's like, now, if you excuse me, what time of the day is it?
It's kind of close to evening, maybe 4
Evening?
o'clock.
Now, I shall retire. For now, I have a lot to go over with this mission information. But first,
That's fine.
I shall inform the rest of the crew member if you would like to meet me on the bridge.
Very well.
And then she'll summon everybody that is conscious.
Gladly conscious.
I can make him conscious if you want.
If you can do me a great value and just kind of leave him out for the rest of the night.
Okay.
Aww.
But if everybody else goes to the thing, she would introduce the new crew member and just go, this is our new crew member. She will be joining us on our current mission, which is, more or less, tomb raiding.
Yes, I surmised as much.
I am Yanfei Valley. I have hired your captain to go on this joint mission. I've heard a great deal about yourselves amongst the outer rim here. Whenever there's been a omninet access, of course, you'll find that your exploits aren't unnoticed in this area. That's all she really has to say for now.
Firefly will say, as far as right now, she is our ally. Do treat her as such. With this mission, we will be leaving in the next couple hours once her mech arrives. I say everybody should get a rest, as we should be aware of such dangerousness for this next couple missions. And she's gonna, grab a cup of coffee. The cup of coffee.
Mm.
And it's like, if anyone has any questions, please speak. If not, if you need anything, I will be in the quarters for the rest of the evening.
Firefly's phone starts vibrating.
If I participate in this, can I still get a cut an extra cut. It's not just going to be the what I've been owed before. It'll be added on to, I presume.
Yes. Go ahead.
There is dispensation given to the entire crew for taking on this mission, while the details will remain strictly between myself and the captain. I can guarantee you that you will be rewarded heavily should you survive this mission.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I do intend on surviving, so at least there's that. I mean, I have until now.
And she'll nod and take off as she drinks her coffee. She's like, this is much better than that alcoholic drink. So soothing, so heavenly, so universal. As she drinks more coffee.
Ironically, Yunfei is more of a tea drinker.
My hamster is getting antsy. If we be adventurers, let us adventure.
So, it is 9:30. I've got work early tomorrow morning. And yeah, I figure this is about as good of a place to leave off as you guys are undocking. Of course, the moment.
You may notice a rather regal-looking mech with lots of regalia being brought into the hangar. It's a /1 mech. It's oddly enough, it seems to be armed with a rather archaic-looking weapon, being a bow.
That mech?
What was that, Jaffer?
That mech? The one I just put in the middle of the table?
Yep, should be this one. It's a little bit.
Yep.
Aspect ratio should be all right. For the ethereal influence, I think I need a little bit of clarification with that one. What another round means. Just wanna make sure.
We can figure that out between this week and next.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea. Have that for next week.
Wired, go ahead and message Dova on Discord and figure out what you want to do there. And I'll hold off accepting it until then.
All right.
All right. Well, everyone, thank you all so much for joining us this evening for Sounds of Metal Lancer. We will be back next week with more. I will be back tomorrow with Retrograde Renegades Starfinder. Do come on by and join us for that. Check out our website, zgfgaming.com. We've got links for our Discord, Telegram, Twitter, Patreon, all those good things on the website, as well as down in the description below. Thank you to my patrons, donators, and subscribers. It is because of you guys I'm able to continue bringing these streams to you all. I really couldn't do it without you. Safanara, thank you so much for those gift subs this evening, and everybody for resubbing. And also, Toshime, thank you so much for that donation this evening. It's really appreciated. And yeah, I bid you all the most fondest adieu.
Take care. See you
Hope
tomorrow.
everyone has a good rest of your week.
Goodbye.
Good night.
Thank you.